I'm TEMPHUiBIS here, and I hope you guys had a Merry Christmas, and hope you guys are gonna have a Happy New Year as well, right? I thought that I quickly finish the year with a Q&A. I was meant to come out with a few more topics, but I haven't done it. But hopefully I'll come out with those in the new year. All right. So now because of the fact that I missed Stephen Jamieson's question in the last one, he gets 3 questions here. So the first one there was the original Marshall Mathers LP has sold over 10 million copies. What albums do you think should sell better and be recognised more? I think Genki Rocket's albums should be recognised more. I think some fireworks going off already. I think they should have. I think their album should come out more. I think Zircon's album should be recognised a bit more. You know, his Anti-Gravity albums, his Identity Sequence albums are bloody fantastic. I think Cold Storage's album should be recognised more. He comes out with albums and albums and albums, and yet he comes out with so many albums all the time, so many singles, so many remixes, so many stuff, and they're all quality. You know, it's almost like the situation of you're getting loads of quantity and quality at the same time, and you're not getting recognised for any of them. It's cold, really. So that's what I reckon should be recognised. And Street Fighter X Tekken was a good game, but it disappointed me a little. Did you feel the same? And if so, why? Yeah, I think that their gameplay was broken. You know, it felt as if like almost everyone had the same combination of moves. It took away from what most fighters have. You know, there's one thing, like, I know, yeah, that the game is more towards the Street Fighter side than it is the Tekken side, and the Tekken guys can't exactly do what they do in Tekken. But here's the thing, right? If King's move in Tekken is X and circle together to do that move, but then in Street Fighter X Tekken, it's to do it, you've got to do like a Hadouken, like as in, you know, the down to forward and all that, or do the same combination as like do the same combination as like you were doing the uppercuts, tiger uppercuts, and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I think, yeah, that is pretty poor. That's not. It changes Tekken from what they are. Your favorite player could be Tekken in this, but then your favorite player could be something else in Street Fighter X Tekken. Now, I bet you any money when Tekken Cross Street Fighter comes out, they're not going to change Ryu's Hadouken. They're not going to make it square and circle like in the Tekken game. I bet they'll still keep it the natural way, you know, the down to forward quarter circle thing. You know, I bet it's all the same. So there is that little situation. The gems stuff was a bit of a confusing thing. I guess when you start to get used to it, you get the idea of what they were trying to do, but it felt like a mess at the end of the day. So it's not really it was a disappointing title. And third, the Tekken franchise turns 20 years old next year. In your opinion, how should Namco and their fans celebrate? I believe they should do a fan expo. You know, be wicked. Because not only is would Tekken be 20 years old, yeah, I'm pretty sure Ridge Racer would be 20 years old as well. But I swear the first one came out more or less the same time, same year as Tekken. So, and I'm a bit of a Ridge Racer fan as well. I play it. I mean, I might have not played it as recent, but I was into Ridge Racer quite a lot back in the days. So I'd say a good fan expo would be terrific. Have tournaments there, get to meet all the people who made Tekken, get to meet some of the musicians. It would be terrific. There could be so much celebrations you could do. You know, what they should do as well is go on tour. I mean, think about it, they probably do it in Japan, but then obviously not everyone will be able to make it to Japan. It needs to come to America, needs to come to England, needs to come to Australia, come to all the places where everyone loved Tekken, you know. So yeah, that's what I think they should do. Right, now we're going to Martino007. Hi Temph, how are you? So have you ever thought about buying a PS4 or Xbox someday? If so, which one interests you more and why? Well, I've already stated, yeah, that I'm buying a PS4 May the 5th, 2014. You know, May the 5th. So, and I said to you guys got to find, if you want to know the reason, you got to find it yourself, because it's up there. You do a little research, you'll find out why. Of course, and he's saying, which one interests me most? Well, I always know that the PS4 has more franchises that I'm into. It has more games I'm always going to be loving more. I always love the controller more. The one thing I've got to say about the Xbox One control is that at least it has better vibration. It's got proper, brilliant rumble in it. Like the buttons actually have rumbles in them themselves, some of them. I thought that's really terrific. But the PS4 controller is still great. Fits in your hand a bit more better than the PS3 control. You know, I've tested that theory myself. I played the PS4 and it's true. You know. And but yeah, the PS4, I'm definitely gonna get that. The only two games that I like for the Xbox One, the only two games so far, is Killer Instinct and Dead Rising 3. That's it. But PS4, I know there's more. And from what I've been seeing online, Xbox One is still doing this DRM shit, and I do not condone that. Even if they took the DRM out, the fact that they were going to put it in there in the first place was enough to turn me off the console completely. So I'm not into this DRM crap at all. And the second one, do you see yourself getting a manager at some point in your career to help get promoted all over Europe, Asia, USA, or something like that, depending on what the deal is for you? I'll say that. Thanks and have a nice day. All right. I can't really answer that question right now, and the reason why, I've actually got an announcement to say at the end of this video, and obviously I can't really answer that because it will clash with that thingy. So I'll get back to that in a moment. bboyagenttekken asks, do you like burgers and fries in general? If so, what do you like to have on it and why? What's some of your favourite burger themed restaurants, if any? I don't really have a favourite burger themed restaurant, you know. I know that I'm going to a place sometime next month here called Red Dog Saloon to try and see what that is. I saw a picture of their burger and it looked like some next humongous burgers. I definitely want to try their Devastator burger because it looks bloody brilliant. If you can literally just type it in, Red Dog Saloon Devastator burger, the images will come up and then you'll see what I mean. That looks like a burger that I've got to eat. And I think somebody even done the Devastator challenge on YouTube as well, so you can see it. You know, what do I like to have on the burgers? Probably just ketchup or barbecue sauce, really. Whatever tastes good. What are some of your favourite superhero movies and why is that? I think two of my favourite superhero movies is The Incredible Hulk and The Avengers. You know, usually I'm the type of guy that likes superheroes that don't really have special shooting powers or anything like that. Like you know, they shoot things out. I prefer The Incredible Hulk, where it's more like super ability. So he fights naturally, but just with a super ability and all that. And what I really loved about The Incredible Hulk was the fact that the enemy was Abomination. They you know, someone his own size and who kind of almost fights like him as well. You know, I thought that's the type of film that I'm usually into. The Avengers was great because Hulk was just great in that as well. He was pretty funny. It was pretty good film. It was pretty good, well done in how the film was. Obviously, I'm not too much into the Avengers, but I'm just a Hulk fan really. But they did a good job of it. So yeah, I like that. And let's move this down. And Mr. Heavy Metal Hero Dude asks, "How are you?" I'm not sure if you knew this, but Paul Walker passed away November 30th this year, about 3:30 American time, West Coast. If so, what are your thoughts on that? You know, and he speaks about the situation of that he played in the Fast and Furious, and you know, and his friend was also there. All right. I never actually watched Fast and Furious. It wasn't really my type of films. I think the only type of film on that level that I may have watched there was Death Race, and it was quite okay. I never really watched. I never really got into the Fast and Furious stuff, so I haven't seen any of them. You know, but I know that a lot of people like them, so I know that all of them are missing something, and I do feel sorry for all of these people, and I feel and my condolences, yeah, to the Walker family as well, because obviously that is something that you wouldn't have wanted to happen. There's something that's just not meant to happen. So it's unfortunate that this is a thing that happened. Um, and yeah, I posted my condolences as well. Feels very sorry for Vin Diesel. You know. Second, have you seen Mortal Kombat Legacy yet? If so, what do you think of it? Now, when you say Mortal Kombat Legacy, are you talking about the second season? I've seen the whole first season, but when it comes to the second season, I only seen the Liu Kang one. I keep saying I'm going to see all the others, but I haven't done it yet, so I'm a little bit behind. But I have seen the first season, and what I watched there from the Liu Kang one, it was pretty cool, pretty okay and everything there. You know, something I think it is missing, but then I praise the director for what he's trying to do, and he's doing a very good effort with it. So I guess what he's doing is probably better than what I could do. So that's what I look at really. The Rap Metal Hero asks, so what weather do you like better, hot weather or cold weather or the warm weather, and why? More or less like the warm weather. I like a weather where I can just go outside, wear just a jumper, don't even have to wear a coat, or you know, sometimes you go out there and just wear a t-shirt. I just like that weather where whatever you wear, you're not too hot, you're not too cold, you're nothing, and it makes you go out more often. Just a nice normal day. Really, that's what I'm usually into. You get that, yeah, going from spring to summer, you know, those days. And the second, what do you think cars will be like in the future and why? Let's say in about 20, 25 years from now. I wonder, I heard they're working on flying cars. I don't know if they'll have flying cars that will work sort of the same way as Wipeout. It'd be easier to overtake people from then on. But then there was a car on this video one time I was watching that was in Japan, which I can imagine being in real life. You know, now I can't really explain it to you. If I had a toy car on me, I would have shown you. But you have a normal car that drives like this, right? Yeah. There are ways that what it is, you actually, the wheels turn inward, yeah, like turn around, then you drive like that. That helps you park in places much more easier than reverse parking. You literally just go like that, and then just drive in like that. That I think is pretty easier and everything and all that. It'll make it very more helpful for new people who are learning to drive and stuff like that. It just makes it more easier to drive, really. I know some people may call that lazy, but freaking hell, man. Driving is safety first, man. Driving is pretty dangerous, man. Might as well make it as easy as you possibly can, if you know what I mean. And PEScharlie says, what program do you use to make music? Fruity Loops, you know, with a lot of other instruments and stuff like that coming in, of course. Who are your top 3 Hajime no Ippo characters and why? Well, the first one I'd like to start off with is, of course, Mamoru Takamura, because he's a funny guy. He's just a very, very funny guy. But then when he's in the ring, he's also a monster. You know, it's funny how he was a middleweight, but now they're making him. But I say he's a middleweight, but they made him look like as if he's a freaking heavyweight. Fair enough, he's now starting to go up weight classes. Wants to go up the rank. He wants to be 6th division champion. That's pretty wow. So that's pretty got a lot there coming. So I like to come and see what happens with that career. Looks like it's going to be wicked, but yeah, he is a funny bloke. He really can make you laugh with some of the things he says. the actor they put on him, yeah, for the first season DVDs, the actor they gave him in the English dub, yeah, was actually great. It matched him well, but his characteristic is still great as well. So sometimes he makes funny faces and all that. Yeah, it's really terrific, you know. So definitely him, I'm gonna say, for one of the characters. And for the second character, I'm definitely gonna say Ichio Miyada, because he's that type of character that knows what he needs to do, uses what he needs to use, has a great, terrific as a terrific counter, yeah, that just helps him with everything. He's that type of character that he'll beat you, you know, just gets the job done. You know, you cuss him and everything and all that, yeah, he'll just brush it off, but then use that in the anger when he's beating you. He's that type of boxer that it seems that you can only cheat to beat him. And if you watch Hajime no, you know what I mean by that. Oh, and obviously I said the third one, yeah, and my best character, I guess, of all, is Ippo Makinochi. It's like, there you go. Ippo is just basically the character that, you know, just can touch anyone's heart, you know. He was a bullied victim, and he ends up going into boxing because of the love that he has, you know, because he wants to be strong. He puts everything into it. He's so hard on himself. He just, you know, he keeps on improving and does everything he wants to improve, and he'll break his body trying. God, something, you know, that's a bit of an inspiration, you know, really big inspiration. So he's definitely the best character. Also, what makes him good as well is he's also like a monster in the ring, but then a natural guy in real life. I remember the episode where some guys went over to his gym to meet him. They sat right next to him and didn't even know he was there because of how joyful he is outside the ring and all that. He was just right there. I thought that's so funny. But yeah, those are my three characters. And Zahid12 asks, how do you like the upcoming title No Man's Sky? I think it's pretty cool and innovative. Yeah, I was looking at it and I was thinking, I was kind of not sure what it's about, like what you meant to do, but it looks like it's got a big world to do. Seems like, you know, it's an open world where you walk around here, you shoot around there. It looks like it's got a lot of things to do. The graphics are actually a little bit unique, looking a bit more on the artistic side, which is what I like. You know, I just need to see a bit more in the gameplay to see what I really think of it. You know what I'm saying? So, are you disappointed or excited that Tekken Cross Street Fighter didn't get released a year or two ago, so it can presumably get released on the next gen consoles? What improvements, features do you want to see that Street Fighter Cross Tekken didn't have? Or are you simply more interested in Tekken 7 at this point? Well, I'm actually interested in what one comes out first. I don't know when Tekken 7 is going to come out, but I have heard recently that Tekken Cross Street Fighter is going to come out in 2015, so that's a long time I have to wait. So I'm hoping Tekken 7 comes out this year. What I'd like to see Tekken Cross Street Fighter do is just don't take the Street Fighter characters really out of proportion. You know, keep it Tekken Cross Street Fighter in the Tekken format, but don't just remove what made the Street Fighter characters the Street Fighter characters. You know, is there anything else I'd like it to be? At the moment, not really quite too sure. Not really sure what I would like to say. You know, because I'm just not too. I just want to just know how the game is going to be. I just can't wait to see, really. You know, so it's going to be terrific. And joeyrealgamer asks, I'm picking up Resident Evil 6 in the Christmas sales as it'll be cheap. Did you ever get around to playing it? And what did you think? I only played the demo, and I think the game is an okay game, but a shit Resident Evil game. Resident Evil 5, I thought that was a good game, but a shit Resident Evil game. It's one of those games that if you're in a mood to play a game, you play Resident Evil 5 or 6. You're in a mood to play Resident Evil, you go old school and you play 1, 2, 3, maybe or 4, maybe Code Veronica. You know what I mean? But 5 and 6 are just shit Resident Evil games. Good games, I guess. Actually, Resident Evil 6 though, the game did, in my opinion, felt worse than 5. It felt just ridiculous. I think there was just too much of these quick time events. You know, I think, and I've seen some things on it, but it just, and I agree with what some of those people said. Yeah, it seems to be just a mess. They tried to do a load of things together. They say yeah that they were going back to the roots by putting zombies in there for Leon's story, but that's not it. That's not what makes it, man. That's why I can't wait for the Evil Within. I might get Resident Evil 6 just because of the fact, you know, maybe I am one of those Resident Evil fanboys who just, you know, it's because it says Resident Evil, I'll just buy it. Even though it's a shit Resident Evil game, I'll probably still buy it. I was waiting till it gets cheap. Now I know it's only just 10 quid. You know, so I probably might just get the game. I won't get the DLC. In fact, that's another thing. I was actually waiting till they bring out a gold edition that will have the DLC and format stuff in it, but they ain't done it. So I'll probably just buy the game, but not the DLC. Second question was, what films have you enjoyed this year, and what films do you want to see in 2014 at the cinema? The films I've enjoyed this year is, I can't remember, did it come out in 2012 or was it 13? I think it came out 2013, you know. So I think it came out 2012. Well, I was going to say Wreck-It Ralph, but then, like I said, I can't remember if that was 2012, 13. But one film I know it definitely came out in 2013 was Turbo, and that film was good. Definitely want to see that. And what films do you want to see in 2014 at the cinema? I think Kung Fu Panda 3 is coming out at that time. I could be wrong. It might be coming out 2015. If it comes out 2014, then I'll definitely buy that. You know, at the moment, there's no other things planned at the moment that I know about. That'd be cool. There's not any sequels or any films that I've got planned or anything at the moment. Yeah, at the moment, the only thing I can see myself looking forward to is just Kung Fu Panda 3 if it comes out. And StockyDoccy asked, how is the animation coming along? When can we see a demo with live movement of Zape the MMA monster? At the moment, I can't even answer that question because, man, I'm struggling now to the point, yeah, where I was thinking to myself, did I bite off more than I can chew? Have I taken off on a very, very, very tough challenge? You know? Although his head isn't done yet, I managed to just set up his body to move, and I was trying a punch sample in punching, just so it's like a headless type thing punching, you know, and I'm not happy with the punch sample at all. I'm not happy with it. I think I uploaded it to my Fur Infinity, and if I was happy with it, I would have uploaded it to my DeviantArt, you know, but I'm not happy with it. So I'm going to try some other little samples, maybe try to punch again, make it a bit better, try some kicking samples to make it great. And then when the head is done, then I can now go straight to working on sculpting him to the best detail, then rig him up again and I can move him, you know. That was something that I was expecting to have finished in 2013, but man, sometimes sometimes you can pressure yourself by what you pick yourself to do, but it really is a struggle. So at the moment, I can't really give a date when you're going to see it, but I am trying as what I can. And second, did you watch Adrian Broner versus Marcos fight? If so, what do you think this Floyd imposter will recover from such a beating? Nope. I can't see why is he trying to make himself look as if he's the best thing. When you try and believe your own hype, that's when you mess up, man. That is when you ruin yourself. You know what I mean? And I reckon maybe he can come back and just maybe probably shut his mouth and just get his head down and doing it. But what he did, was completely his fault. You know, guy being a little arrogant. I think he's very ignorant. You know, what he says about MMA, I thought it was a bit of a ignorant statement. And I mean, everyone has their own opinion or what, but no, my opinion is that his opinion was ignorance. So didn't really like the guy much anyway. But for him getting bust up like that, I did see the highlights, and it's just stupid. He messed himself up. That's all I can say. He messed himself up, man. So that's all the questions, and I got an announcement, to speak to you guys about. About 2 weeks ago, people have seen this on Facebook already, but about 2 weeks ago, I announced a retirement, me retiring from music, as an artist. Now, I could still make music as probably a games artist. If somebody hires me, comes and hires me to make music for their game, I could still be on it and probably willing to do it. There's even a chance that I may have a new game working on at the moment, but I ain't gonna say anything until it's finalized. But in the sense of me doing, but me as an artist, in the sense of me doing gigs, in the sense of me doing albums and mixtapes, I'm done. And the reason I actually wrote a whole journal on this, and it's on my DeviantArt, so I'm going to link that below. Okay, the camera cut off there. So like I was saying, as a music artist, I've decided to hang up the gloves, as they say. But yeah. If you click the link below and read it, I wrote a journal instead of saying it in a video, because I feel like it was better to sort of write it and say everything about it instead of like trying to say it from the top of my head, like everything. But to sum it up, really, I've definitely lost an edge in something, and overall it's taken the fun out. It doesn't feel as fun as it used to be. All the reasons are all in the journal, but at the moment there's no fun at the moment. So this is probably going to be either a very, 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 very long break or a forever break. And I'm going to try and see if I can just live my life another way, because obviously this is just not working. But yeah, if you guys were on Facebook, you would already know this. If you're following me on Twitter, you might have already known as well. So that's what I got to say, guys. Next video, I think I've got a good surprise here for the next video. So that's it, guys. I want to say Happy New Year to all of you and everything, and I hope you had a good 2013. Yeah, maybe that will be my next video. I got to speak about the year 2013. So Thanks very much, guys, yeah, and I'll speak to you all later. Love who you are.